Hello, welcome to this special screening of Mongol. Can I please introduce the filmmaker here? This is Sergei Bodrov.
Thank you, everybody. It's a story about Genghis Khan. And he's a famous man, but he has a bad reputation. I spent 4 years of my life doing this movie. It was a very difficult production, and I hope I didn't waste my time.
I can tell you I've seen the film. He didn't waste his time.
Thank you.
Enjoy the film. I'll talk to you in the Q&A. Thanks very much for coming.
Okay, thank you.
Mongol is based on the world's oldest surviving Mongolian text, The Secret History of the Mongols, written in 1227, just after Genghis Khan's death. It traces the early life of Khan, or Temujin. At age 9, he chooses his future wife. And against his father's wishes, he picks the confident Borte from a lesser clan. After his father is poisoned by an enemy clan, the young Khan is captured by the rival Merkits. But he vows revenge against their leader. After years in the wilderness, the adult Khan, played by famous Japanese actor Asano Tadanobu, returns to claim his bride, Borte, who becomes his great love and his closest, most loyal advisor. Mongol, the first of a planned trilogy, is both a love story and an epic war movie. And acclaimed Russian director Sergei Bodrov depicts an engaging ascension of an outcast into a legendary warrior who conquered half the world, including Russia, which the Mongol Empire occupied for over 200 years.
Genghis Khan was not exactly a favourable figure in Russia, was he?
No, it's like one of most unpopular names.
Would you say perhaps the most unpopular name?
Yeah, and we still blame Mongols for all our problems until now, yeah.
Why, as a Russian man, why would you decide that you have to tell his story?
No, I think it was pretty unfair. I really wanted to fight stereotypes because I don't believe that he was born as a monster.
How hard was it for your Japanese lead to act in Mongolian?
Of course, it was not easy. He started to learn these dialogues, but it was a problem that I was changing dialogues. He was learning, I was changing, he was learning. So, and finally, in the end of the movie, he started to talk Mongolian.
You scoured the world for the right people, didn't you?
I was looking in Russia, China, Korea, and I came to Japan and I found Asano Tadanobu. He is very special. He is strong inside, some like mystery about him. And also he was handsome and sexy. And I came to Mongolia and I was lucky to find this young boy. He was very shy in the beginning, but he's a real Mongol. He was born on the saddle. And we spoiled him after, so and he became really small Khan.
It looked very expensive. I'm curious about the budget. Can I ask you that?
Very good questions and also kind of painful because we were independent production and we really struggled to make this movie. And it cost finally, like around $18 million.
I was wondering about the love story. Was there any actual basis for that, or is it purely made up? Is there history at all?
I have here John Mann, who wrote one of the best books about Genghis Khan, and he can tell you what's right, what's not right.
The relationship with Berthe is one of the most authentic parts of this very authentic film. He did indeed choose a bride at the age of 9 or 10. Went back to her later on, and she was actually captured by the Merkits. And this was the major inspiration for that whole sequence where he went to war with Jamukha to get her back.
Since we're talking about soppy love stories, should we tell them about the soppy love story off camera?
My assistant, he was from Kazakhstan, madly fell in love with our Mongolian actress. It was a huge competition. He wasn't alone, but he was really persistent. Yeah. In the end, she left Mongolia. She moved to Kazakhstan with my assistant, and they said, "We want to marry." I said, "Okay, we will make wedding when the movie will open, same day."
Where was your source as far as the type of military tactics you showed in the film?
A lot of young Mongolians, my extras and my crew, they started to tell me how they were fighting 800 years ago. It was amazing. It was still in the blood. And sometimes in the fight scenes, it was impossible to stop them. They still wanted to fight. Yeah.
Some people will refuse to accept that he was captured. Certainly the Mongolians say he was never captured.
Yeah, you have to understand, in Mongolia, he's the almost living god. And for Mongolians especially, it was really difficult to accept that I am Russian coming to make a movie about Genghis Khan.
There's some conjecture over whether Genghis Khan was Mongolian, isn't there?
Chinese strongly believe that he was a Chinese, Japanese that he was a Japanese, and Koreans, they said, okay, nobody knows, but he was a Korean. Yeah.
I think he's Australian. Could we please thank here, this is Sergei Bodrov. Thank you so much for bringing your film Mongol here.
Thank you.
Round of applause.
Thank you very much.
From a legendary conqueror to a legendary, well, pretty much everything. The late, great German director Fassbender lived fast, died young, and left a great body of work.
Was soll geschehen? Wird doch nicht so schlimm sein. Man wird schon nicht verkommen. Berlin ist groß.
In a career that lasted only 15 years, Reiner Fassbender wrote and directed over 40 films, stage plays and television dramas.
Rein. So, das ist mein Mann. El-Hedi Ben Salem Mbarek Mohammed Mustafa. Ich nenne ihn Ali.
Although tending toward ultra-emotional melodrama, his work depicted Germany's confused and often brutal post-war generation.
He had this great talent to take other people's gift into his world.
Komm.
Il était très fort en écriture.
He was a very, very powerful dialogue writer. He had it all in his mind and would script only the basic details. But it would all end up working like a machine.
Working from the late 60s to the early 80s with a fractious family of actors and crew, he spearheaded a golden age known as New German cinema.
He was a keen observer of society. He wanted to defend minorities, immigrants and women.
Bitte, Hans. Bitte.
He had a very, very strong connection to this kind of destroyed souls who try to find a sense and a way to live.
Hana Shigula, the queen bee of the Fassbinder hive, stars in his masterwork, The Marriage of Maria Braun. She plays a woman whose soldier husband goes missing the day after their wedding.
Wie lang zijn ze eigenlijk verder? bin verheiratet. Nein, ja bloß. Viel haben sie aber nicht gehabt von ihrer Ehe, oder? Doch. Einen halben Tag und eine ganze Nacht.
Fassbinder's other enduring classic is his 15.5-hour adaptation of Alfred Döblin's novel about 1920s Germany, Berlin Alexanderplatz.
Zurück zum Elsässer.
Although prodigiously gay, Fassbinder tended to paint his main characters as strong, beautiful women, and he even married one of them.
Reiner was homosexual, but he still really wanted to be with me. We'd been close friends, and eventually we became intimate as well.
Komm, Irmgard.
Nein.
As his star ascended, Fassbinder shed many of the original family, causing much bitterness. He spent his last years with Julianne Lorenz, who edited many of his later films.
He didn't want to have anymore a kind of this family, really deep family where you are responsible for everything.
Hier ist Epp, Irmgard Epp. Ich möchte mich scheiden lassen.
Lorenz inherited Fassbinder's estate and runs a foundation in his name, much to the annoyance of his early collaborators.
After his death, there was this kind of the old family and the new family, and I belong to the new family.
There were 25 of us who worked with Reiner all the time. Everybody thought his work should not be controlled by just one person.
That was the so-called Schneeballsystem. She's bad. She did. Blah, 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 blah.
An artist not only known but also respected worldwide is in the hands of a woman who decides what's true and what isn't true. It's frightening.
It's her battle, not mine.
Unfortunately, Fassbinder's passion for filmmaking was matched by his voracious appetite for recreational drugs.
He liked to party. He loved to party.
This is Fassbinder in the middle, playing the title role in Fox and His Friends in 1974.
Naja, ganz nett.
And this is his final screen appearance, just 8 years later.
He wanted to be the myth. He wanted to be the one who is untouchable.
He died soon after, at age 37.
Will you dance with me, Mr. Bill?
He was born in the ruins of post-war Germany and he died in a state of mental and physical ruin. But in between, he created marvelous things.
My man is dead.
Well, that's it for this fabulous picture show. It was a total honour to have you, Sergey. Thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Most welcome. But you know now I'm expecting you've got to do this trilogy, right?
I will start tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yes.
Is that a promise?
Yes.
Okay, hope you can join us again. Bring your other films to us and we hope you join us in the next season of the Fabulous Picture Show. See you then.
Nasta. You burada hitamur tich bayga over. Not the hercho gochta.
Hajim you was quick. Ta michaga hajim.
How would you rate the film out of 10 and why?
On a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give this film an 8.
I think it was beautifully done, had a touch of Hollywood in it, only a touch, but it was very realistic.
It was very surprising to see that he wasn't depicted as a bloodthirsty murderer, as history always paints him out to be.
I'm going to recommend it to all my friends to come and see the film.